Hello, my name is Jazz Stokes, and this is my reflection on this past semester in my gender and communication class. The first thing I want to say is that I'm pleased as a non binary individual that these are the kind of courses that are being offered. When I first saw the class description, I was pretty excited, and I've had a lot of lived experiences. The only other course that I've taken with remotely similar material was 14 years ago. Back then, I spent a lot more of my time arguing about the limitations of theory and its application to real life. A lot has changed not only for me, but in society. And this semester, for my classes, there was a lot of overlap and mixing. And it was to a degree, but not in the direction that I expected it to be. I had a lot of ideas and concepts from what I'd loosely call my elective classes, repeatedly spilling over into my core classes. So, this semester, in addition to the content that I created for this class, I wrote super personal and vulnerable memoir esque pieces discussing everything from how we begin to form social constructs in our youth to how one of my relationships disintegrated when I discovered I was polyamorous. I delivered emotional speeches about Pauli Murray, a key historical figure considered to be among the first queer gender nonconforming individuals who also wrote extensively and talked about the main concepts that predicated the term intersectionality. We get a play about a non binary individual and their partner getting married on indigenous lands that have been given back. There's all this overlap and all of these different connections that I was allowed to see this year. Um, my classes and these connections were able to help me evolve my definition of performance to understand how gender is a performance, race, social class, all of these factors included in intersectionality are performance. And to take that concept and look at how theatrical performances can be used to expose the truth of that we are constantly performing. And to take the idea of plays and how they're usually stories that reinforce society's normalized discourses. And this all lines up a lot with the broad idea of what I want my interdisciplinary major to look like, how to use creative arts in order to enact social change. So I want to create art that exposes the power dynamics at play in our society. Burlesque shows that humorize the binary dichotomies in gender being pitted on us. I want plays to be written about a future without poverty or hunger. I want to start generating the thoughts and the discussions that we need to have in order to figure out, how we can get there. Gendered communication is rooted so deeply in our culture that it seems impossible to imagine a world where language is gender neutral or where we've managed to disrupt the power dynamics that have been in play for what feels like forever. I want to find ways to show people or tell them or put it in books, the lyrics to music, just everything. So hopefully this translates that I'm taking a lot with me after this course. I'm taking knowledge of vocabulary and how using gender neutral terms might weaken our reliance on gendered language. I'm taking away formalized questions I can ask to get people thinking. I'm taking away a renewed vow of learning to be intentional in all of the communication in my life. I'm taking away a lot more confidence in my abilities, my identity, and the value of talking about my lived experiences. One thing I steadfastly believe is that the way that we're going to find solution to these problems now and in the future is by having these conversations. I've taken the interview questions we came up for the Gendered Voices assignment, and they're pinned to the top of my social media with an invitation to engage. No one's really taken me up yet. I don't think they realize that my goal is to generate a discussion, but we'll get there. I do wish that I'd spent a little bit more time in the discussion threads, and I did actually spend quite a bit of time, but I think with them being a little later, a lot of my comments and posts didn't get a lot of feedback, and I'm grateful for the opportunity that it gave to all of us in the class to really see these different perspectives on these complex and transformative concepts and to really relate our common experiences. I enjoyed reading a lot of the posts of my fellow classmates, and I look forward to possibly interacting with them in the future, our university endeavors. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to have access to this class, the many things that I've learned and will take away from it. Thank you.